April 10th, 1912, Southampton, England. The RMS Titanic, the largest, most luxurious ship ever built, is about to embark on its maiden voyage. Among the passengers, millionaires, immigrants, and 2,200 souls who believed this ship was unsinkable. But according to a legend that would grip the world, there was something else on board, something ancient, something angry.
A wooden coffin lid from a tomb in ancient Egypt, the resting place of a high priestess who served the god Amen-Ra. And everywhere this artifact went, death followed. Those who touched it, dead. Those who transported it, plagued by accidents and misfortune. The museums that housed it, cursed. And now, it was being shipped to a new owner in America, aboard the Titanic. 4 days later, the ship struck an iceberg and sank. 1,500 people died, and for decades afterward, people whispered, was it really just an iceberg, or was it the curse? This is one of the most persistent, most famous legends in history. It combines ancient Egypt, a supernatural curse, and the world's most famous disaster. It's complete myth. But the real story is somehow even more fascinating than the myth. It's not a story about a curse. It's a story about a ghost story, and how that story became so powerful, it haunted history for over a century. Stick around, because I'm going to show you the real artifact that inspired this legend. It still exists. You can go see it today. And when I show you the face on this coffin, you'll understand exactly why the world wanted to believe it was cursed. Let's start with the facts. The object at the center of this legend is real. Its catalog number EA22542 at the British Museum in London. But it's better known by its infamous nickname, the Unlucky Mummy. First, it's not a mummy. It's a mummy board, a wooden coffin lid that covered a mummy. It dates back to Egypt's 21st dynasty, around 950 BCE. The artwork is beautiful. A painted face, hieroglyphics, symbols of protection. But it's the face that gets you. To understand the legend, you need to understand the era. The early 1900s were gripped by Egyptomania. After the discovery of multiple tombs, Egyptian artifacts were flooding into Europe. Museums competed for them. Private collectors paid fortunes. And with this obsession came rumors, whispers of curses, stories about collectors who died mysteriously. It was the perfect cocktail of exoticism, colonialism, and Victorian-era spiritualism. And the poster child for this new wave of superstition? That very same unlucky mummy in the British Museum. By the early 1900s, it already had a reputation. Now, enter William Thomas Stead. And in April 1912, William T. Stead boarded the RMS Titanic as a first-class passenger. Stead was one of the most famous men of his time, a brilliant, trailblazing journalist, and a hardcore spiritualist. He was fascinated by the paranormal. He attended seances, and he loved the story of the unlucky mummy. He reportedly visited the artifact, was captivated by its haunting face, and helped popularize its cursed reputation in his magazines. It was one of his favorite ghost stories. On the night of April 14th, 1912, just hours before the collision, witnesses reported that Stead entertained his dinner table with one of his favorite tales. And the story he told? A terrifying ghost story about the unlucky mummy back in London and the trail of misfortune that followed it. What we do know is this. A few hours later, the ship hit the iceberg, and William T. Stead went down with the ship. He did not survive. After the disaster, the world was desperate for answers. How could the unsinkable ship sink? And in that grief and confusion, the rumor began. It started in spiritualist circles. Stead, the famous spiritualist, had died. And what was the last story he told? A terrifying tale about a cursed mummy. The story he told on the ship became its ghost. People didn't just whisper, "Was there a curse?" They whispered, "Stead knew." He warned them. It didn't take long for the story to mutate. He didn't just tell the story. He must have been warning them because the mummy was secretly on board with him. By the 1930s, the legend was unstoppable. Tabloid newspapers ran sensational stories. They claimed the coffin lid had been secretly loaded onto the ship. Some versions even claimed that after the sinking, the coffin lid was recovered, brought to America, and caused the stock market crash of 1929. It didn't matter if it's true or not. The story was too good. Ancient evil meets modern hubris. The unsinkable ship meets the unmovable curse. People wanted to believe it. The coffin lid, EA 22542, the unlucky mummy, never left the British Museum. It is there today. And when you stand in front of it, you finally understand the promise I made at the beginning of this video. You understand why this legend was so believable. It's the face. It's just unsettling. The eyes seem to follow you. The expression is serene, but also deeply sad. It's so human that it feels alive. This face is a perfect blank slate. When you look at it, you don't see an artifact. You see a person, and your imagination does the rest. You see a victim, a priestess, a vengeful spirit. This is what William Stead saw. This is what spooked Victorian London. And this is the face that launched a legend that outlived everyone who told it. Thanks for watching.